I went to Cartagena and I hated it. I got 99 problems and Cartagena is one. This is what you need to know before you go. Let's start with my first grievance. This place is scam central. Yes, it's gorgeous. Yes, there's a lot of culture. However, you need to watch your pockets. You have to be careful because some of the vendors can be really slick. You will agree on one price and then they'll try and upcharge you at the last minute, claiming that you never agreed on the original price. I was unprepared for how aggressive the vendors and sellers were going to be. We couldn't relax at the beach. We couldn't walk 2 feet down the walled city without being accosted and harassed by sellers. It was so uncomfortable and so overwhelming. I was fed up by day 2 and cussing everybody out. You know what else shocked me? I couldn't find any hot sauce. It was really bothering me.
Okay. I'm going to try and be nice in this video, okay? And it's not really about roasting this girl. It's about educating people that want to travel, okay? So I did comment on this video and I just said, if I shouldn't travel, in quotation marks, was a person. And I really mean that. And I don't mean that to personally attack this girl, but this entire video is not only it's negative, it's kind of obvious. Like every tip she's trying to give to people is like, well, duh. And third, it's very misleading. So I'm going to break down some things in this video that you guys need to focus on if you want to travel, just period. I'm not even to Colombia. Yes, I'm making this video in Colombia. Yes, I've been here. I was here 2 years ago for a month. I'm at a month and a half right now. I have 2 more months to go. Yes, I'm very comfortable with Colombia. Obviously, I'm biased. I like Colombia, but it's just traveling, period. I've also lived in Europe for 4 years and traveled all around Europe, okay? Okay, so number one, it is kind of annoying how she stresses the fact that the hustling and the scamming is so real. The pickpocketers, they want us to, yeah, at risk of being frank, no shit, okay? Have you ever been to France? Have you ever been to any country, okay? You think the fanny pack thing just started in America because it's a fashion trend? No, the fanny pack thing is a thing that Europe's adapted and countries like this have adapted because there are crazy pickpocketing. Somebody will touch your arm over here. You've seen the movie Focus, and somebody over here is touching in your pocket, and you're not realizing it because your attention's over here. Now, a fanny pack puts everything right here on your chest in front of you. There's nothing in my pockets. So, okay, it's called plan accordingly. Yes, pickpocketing's everywhere, so you don't have to negatively derive that to Cartagena, Colombia. That happens everywhere, sweetheart. So yes, it's just something you have to plan for if you want to travel. Okay, number 2 claim, she's like, oh, the street vendors, they'll agree on one price. And yes, okay, if you look, okay, so here in Colombia, don't speak a lot of Spanish, poquito español, yo aprendo español, but I don't speak a lot of Spanish, okay? I've memorized the numbers, and I've memorized what things should cost, so you can kind of haggle with them. Now, but let me give you a travel tip. If you're on the street vendor and I say, hey, I want, this soda, and then we agree on, 20,000 pesos, okay, $5 American dollars. If at the end, when they're done, they try and charge me more, it's called walk away, okay? The police, everybody knows what they're trying to do. What are they going to grab you and beat you up? You say, no, I'm going to pay this price that we agreed on. You pull out the money and you say, okay, you either want the money or you don't. And I'm not even going to say 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, they are going to just take the money and give you the product, okay? So you getting scammed by street vendors, that's not really a thing. Just because you don't, a lot of people in the comments were like, well, you don't speak Spanish, that's why they try. No, I agree that they try and scam. Street vendors will try and get more money from people that they know they can scam that aren't native to their country. But in the end, it's no, they'll take the money and give you the product. So just agree on the price and stick to your guns. It's called, stick to your guns. Stick to the price you guys talked about, okay? You're not going to get scammed. Nobody's going to take my money from me. So that's just a weird thing to say or complain about, if you will. Okay, let's touch on another point. Now, not to insult this woman's intelligence or anybody's intelligence who's trying to travel, but let me ask you a question. When I was in Switzerland, right? Switzerland is the money capital of the world, not of Europe, of the world, right? Swiss bank accounts, we all hear that term. They have a currency called francs, way more than American dollars. And when I was there, McDonald's was expensive, Starbucks was expensive. A tall drink was a tall at Starbucks was $10. So, and you see Ferraris just everywhere on the street. So I say that to say this. What country are you traveling to? Obviously, if you come to Colombia, our exchange rate's really well, but this is a poor country, if you will. So what are we talking about? what annoys me is she's like, we're on the beach and we were getting accosted. I just started cussing people out. Okay, number one, just keep walking. It's really not that bad. People, this is how they make money. Okay, they try and sell, and it's a numbers game in the selling community. We all know this. Car salesman, whatever kind of sales business you're in, it's a numbers game. Talk to 1 million people, and one person buys. All right, that's one person better. Okay, so stop. Like, don't go on like travel trips if you're annoyed by people trying to make money, because depending on what country of level you're in, obviously that's going to happen more or less. So, little weird. Did you not look up Colombia before you traveled? Like, yes, this is a poor country. And I was talking to a Colombian that I went on a tour with, and she was telling me, like America, we have an immigration problem, right? Like an overflux of immigrants from other countries, right? So she said, now it's not just Colombians that have to do the dancing or the street performing to make money. It's a lot of Venezuelan like immigrants are here, and they're doing the same thing. So it takes from the Colombian natives. So I was just like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But in the end, what country are you traveling to? Are you traveling to a rich country? Are you going to Dubai, or are you going to Colombia, Jamaica, are you going to countries that are yes, they're going to very much so have a lot of people trying to hustle or make a living by coming up to you and trying to sell. Okay. Another thing I will say about the hustlers or the people that are trying to come up to you, they're not selling anything expensive. Like, another thing I say to people when you're traveling, like, I mean, it's not like if you're broke, just say that, but don't plan a trip if you can't go to that country and do things. If you're going to complain about money the whole time, you shouldn't be traveling. Especially you shouldn't be traveling to a country where we're supposed to be rich here and have a lot more money here, and then you're going to get here and complain about handing someone 2,000 pesos, it's 46 cents. Like, and that's what they want. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So let's just, when you're traveling, you need to have a more positive mindset, but you need to have a realistic mindset. You can't travel and think that when you get to a certain country, just everything's going to be like America. Like, that makes no sense. Okay, you're not in America anymore. You're traveling to a new culture. I think what annoys me most about the video is at the start of the video, it's like, yeah, Cartagena is very beautiful and there's beautiful culture, but, and then the entire video is bashing Cartagena. But that's exactly, you're not understanding why you travel. You travel to experience other cultures. I'll give you an example. Service here. The service industry. I used to be a bartender, server in America, okay? We know in America, we complain if we sit down and immediately don't get like, hey, how you doing? Here's a menu. What would you like to drink? Go get the drink, come back. There's a methodology to serving or bartending. Come back, by the time they have their drink, that you're wanting to, okay, that's not a thing in here in Colombia. I've sat down at restaurants that had 5 servers standing around, and they come up to my table 10 minutes after I sit down. And they can see me. It's very relaxed, chill country. So if I came here to complain about the customer service, that wouldn't make any sense, because that's not how Colombians live. That's not how they act. That's not how they, they don't get tips. They add, a lot like Ireland or like certain countries in Europe, they add the tip to the check. So they don't really need to go above and beyond. Whereas in America, we don't. It's 0 tip. As a bartender, I've worked on people for 2 hours and gotten $0. Like, it's a very different culture. So when I am here in Colombia, I'm not judging or complaining about the service industry, because I just know that's not their bag. And then the last thing I will say about her video when she ends it was like, there's no hot sauce here. No. And this is a good point. There is hot sauce in Colombia. They're not crazy about hot sauce, because I'm a psycho for hot sauce. I have 3 bottles of Tabasco in my fridge over there that I bought at the supermarket behind me. But I know that's an American thing, or I grew up in Southern California. That's a Mexican culture thing, like very spicy food, right? That's not really a thing here in Colombia. But I've also learned, you sit down at your first restaurant, right, and you talk and you be welcoming to their culture and you don't be rude. But the server taught me, he said, hey, if you ever want hot sauce at a restaurant, you say, I would like some salsa picante. Okay, picante means hot, salsa is their sauce, their hot sauce, right? So now every restaurant I go to, I immediately say, can I get some, tienes, miras porfa salsa picante? And that means like, yes, can I please have some hot sauce? And they're gonna bring me some version of that, okay? It's not gonna be ketchup like she says in this video. They're gonna bring me the hottest sauce they have, or a version or a choice or whatever. And then you make it work. But the whole point is, I'm not in Colombia to eat American food with hot sauce. I'm in Colombia to eat their style of food, the way they cook it, and enjoy it the way they enjoy it, okay? So I think I will end the video with that. If you're thinking about traveling, but you think you're gonna land in Thailand and get American service, American food, American this, American that, why are you going? just stay in America. So the piss poor attitude of people like this and people that hit me up, and that's fine. I have friends that are like, have been in the same state, same city their entire life, went to high school, born and raised, are going to stay, and that's fine. I've always been a traveler, they're not. But if you're thinking about packing your bags and traveling to another country, you need to ditch the attitude of, oh, well, when I get there, I'm going to ask for every single thing I get in America. It ain't going to work out for you, and you're going to have a bad experience. This girl clearly had a horrible experience in Cartagena, whereas I've talked to people, and I don't want to leave Colombia. I'm staying here forever. Like, there's two different mindsets as well. Okay, she probably could have had a great time in Cartagena if she would have taken some of these tips I've talked about throughout this video. But yep, those are my tidbits for traveling. But just know, immersing in the culture is always going to do you better than just expecting what you get from your culture.